Why does it say he's fucking... Why does Google think he's 5'7"? He's clearly not. He's like a good 3 inches taller than Hideo Kojima. And Hideo Kojima, according to Google, is 5'8". Okay, well, new topic added. Why is Todd Howard 5'6"?
I think in this we should casually mention, and this is a lie, that Bobby Kotick is 4'11". And just be like, yeah, and that's the shortest one, Bobby Kotick.
Okay, no. IMDb says he's 5'10" and a half.
What is?
Who's checking heights on IMDb?
Is this Gabe Newell's 5th birthday? Like,
yeah, I know. Who still counts like? Nobody counts in halves for like an adult. They don't go like, oh, I'm 30. I'm 31 and a half. Like nobody. This is like a really great point that Simon Lane made. Is that like the only people who count fractions of their age are like small children and the extremely elderly. It's like it matters to them.
The alpha move when you get old is to just actually forget how old you are.
Joe
I'm
Biden.
I forget how old I am.
Yeah, Joe Biden is alpha Chad, is what you're saying.
Yeah, I've always said that about Joe. Big Joe, I call him.
Big. Oh my god.
Young Joe.
Old
Joe's
whippersnapper Joe.
Yeah, he's lively.
Ugh.
Lively Joe.
But I don't know. I don't know if we want to talk about to answer your question earlier, Tom. I don't know if we want to talk about Gamergate 2 Electric Boogaloo. I guess we could just mention it and that it's stupid.
Yeah,
but that's not gonna stop it, obviously.
No, I mean it didn't stop the original. So
yeah, it's like they think there's like this cabal of like secret companies that make video games woke by being paid to remove very obvious, slurs.
Mm-hmm.
This doesn't seem like it's vibing like it's gonna have anywhere near the impact of the first one. This just seems like
nah, I don't think so either.
It's like the 5th thing that's been Gamergate 2.
Yeah,
we're so hungry for a Gamergate 2, and they just
like that's the problem with making a Gamergate 2 is that
it's very hard to top the original.
It's like you've made a Gamergate 2, but in the interim, there's been like a bunch of those like named spin-offs, kind of like it's kind of like Kingdom Hearts in a way. It's like you've got the numbered sequel, but in the interim, there's been like just like 24 like named spin-offs.
Yeah,
we've got like
the guy who was mad about vagina bones.
Mm-hmm. We've got like the PSP Gamergate. We've like the one that was like on the Vita, like the one that was like exclusive to like the 3DS. We've had so many different.
Yeah, there was one. There was a Gamergate that was only on the phone in Japan.
Yeah.
The feature phone game, yeah.
Mm-hmm. I say we don't talk about this.
I'd say just let's not talk about it in any detail, certainly.
Yeah, I don't think this is anything. This is just the tantrum of the week.
I think I will. I have been recording the sound test. I think I will include my bit about Kingdom Hearts because I think it's very funny.
Okay, good.
If you must.
That's one that's good to riff on because there have been a million different Kingdom Hearts, like Kingdom Hearts, like 2 1/2 or whatever, like the one that has like fractions in it.
Yeah, there's like multiple games with fractions in it.
They're wild for that. I played the first one.
Mm-hmm.
It was fine.
I played the first one when it came out and I enjoyed it, and that was
never thought about it again, really, because I'm normal.
I refuse to engage with Kingdom Hearts since Marvel is Disney now. They have the Punisher
so funny,
in it,
like,
and the Punisher kills Goofy.
Kingdom Hearts 2 is the 3rd Kingdom Hearts game.
Naturally.
And Kingdom Hearts 3 is the 50th.
Perfect. It's the perfect analogy for Gamergate because at this point, nobody knows what the fuck they're even going on about anymore. And it's so labyrinthine and weird that I think that in Gamergate 1, I think that they had more of a facade of like, they were talking about this in the Discord, but basically more of a facade of like, oh, we're, classical liberals or whatever. Like you
Mm.
could
Oh,
get
yeah.
away with this shit in 2015 and not be considered freakish, deformed mutants.
Yeah.
But nowadays, like the alt-right has sort of self-segregated and kind of like had some
Yeah.
sort of weird stagnation and like mental inbreeding to the point where they're just like all the worst freaks you've ever seen.
Yeah. The only people left doing the classical liberal thing are people like Dave Rubin.
Mm-hmm.
Well, the thing is, too, is that Gamergate 1 wasn't about video games. It was about just everybody on the internet coming together to be misogynist. And that's going to have so much more juice than some,
Yeah.
like, consultancy firm. Like,
Mm-hmm.
it was sparked because just the dullest creep on earth was just like, my girlfriend cheated on me, something awful. My girlfriend cheated on me, 4chan. And like
Post so bad, they banned him
99%
from something awful first.
Wow.
and 99% of the forums removed that post and banned him, but people were still just like, well, my goodness, wink wink, this is so terrible, the video game industry is like this.
Yeah.
And so you're not going to find a hysteria like this unless you find a specific woman to hate. And I think that's what
That's what we need.
yeah, that's what we
lightning rod.
need is a proper woman to hate. I've got some suggestions.
Liz Warren, I didn't vote for you in the primary, but I'm voting for you now.
Oh yeah.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Video Games Are the Worst Thing on Earth. I'm Alton. With me, as always, is Reese.
Hello.
And Kay.
Hi.
And joining us for the first time, because they chickened out of the Movie Bob episode.
I didn't chicken out. I had a toddler and I was tired.
Yeah.
Oh,
Okay,
yeah,
buddy. Is
Oh, you're a
foreplay.
loving father.
Okay, my wife just gave birth. The standard excuse for getting out of the most psychically damaging episode of the podcast.
You could have made history, buddy.
Yeah.
Well, instead I made a child.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you did.
That no one will
More movie.
remember. I guess the child will, but
The child will be like, "You could have been on this podcast."
Just
One
like,
day
Daddy, why weren't you on the Movie Bob episode of Bigato? Like those shitty World War I advertisements. It's like, what did you do during the war? Just like, I stayed at home and didn't get fucking murdered.
Sounds like that guy was smart.
Anyway, it's 4Push,
It's me. Hello.
aka Tom, from the hit music podcast, CRT Sound Systems. How are you doing?
That's correct. Hello.
All right. So rolling right into what I said is our most important topic. Why is Todd Howard 5'6"?
Okay, folks, we have to get to the bottom of this. So we've seen this picture of him standing next to Elon Musk. We've seen that he's too small. What's happening?
He's far too small to make such expansive worlds, is what I'm saying.
It's not to scale.
Mm-hmm.
It's like that episode of Voyager where the doctor's like holographic projectors aren't working and they like Photoshop him like teeny tiny on a chair. It is fucking terrifying. And I honestly think like it's not like Elon Musk can ever be redeemed, but they can get a couple of points back towards heaven if he just stepped on Todd Howard right there.
My theory is that because he never ever takes that jacket off, it's just sort of slowly started to osmose somehow, and like that's causing him to just shrink. And it's just been happening really, really slowly over the last like 15 years.
Yeah.
There used to be more of them.
Is Todd like continuing to make bigger and bigger games as like compensation for something?
I'm starting to suspect that.
Yeah, because he like, oh, we need to make Fallout 76 the biggest video game ever. just so that, you know, it has hundreds of miles of world you can explore. And he's just like, I need this video game bigger so people don't make fun of me.
I will say, in Todd's defense, I am certain that Elon Musk wears nuclear grade lifts, just like lifts that you and I could never afford.
He's doing
that gives
the
him,
DeSantis high heel thing.
Exactly.
You cannot see his feet in any of these pictures, I'm noticing.
Yeah. A little, we're going to need the Vegetato fans to reply to Elon Musk and say, can I see those feeties? Can I see those feeties, sweeties?
That's right. If I don't
see them feet, Elon, real
if
quick.
Conky isn't banned from Twitter for pestering Elon Musk for his feet pics within a week, I will be so disappointed.
Conky.
You have your
Conky
orders.
activated.
Yeah. But yeah, I don't know why we went on like a huge tangent just looking up the height of like every famous video game creator, and apparently Google just lies about how tall Gaben is.
Mm-hmm.
It just like
Yeah, so what's going on with that?
I don't know.
Like, it feels
Gaben is doing some sort of like what's the word? OPSEC. No, it's not OPSEC, InfoSec, where he's just like he's muddying the waters with incorrect information so nobody can actually find out.
You know, it would
Everywhere you
make
look,
a
it's
lot of
different.
sense that Gaben is very confused about how numbers work since they never figured out 3. I'm bringing it back, folks. It's jokes from 2010.
Yeah, it's weird. Bobby Kotick, they on the internet they list him as 5'6" when it's been pretty well documented he's 5 feet tall. It's crazy.
How are these people so financially successful without being big? That's what I want to know.
It doesn't feel possible.
Mm-hmm.
I'm looking up how tall is Bobby Kotick. They don't really say.
Yeah, we need the data on this.
I want
It
to
says
find
he's
out
close
how
to
tall
6
Peter
feet.
Molyneux is, because like that's definitely going to be a lie.
Oh, he's like, it says he's like 12 feet tall.
Yeah.
I just want to figure out how much of a lie it is.
I personally measured Bobby Kotick and he is 5 feet tall.
Absolutely true.
How tall is Peter Molyneux? I can't imagine he's like that tall. He's like this little.
I'm not finding Peter Molyneux stats.
He's like
Very
this
upset.
little British imp. You know, you can't be that tall, right? But then like
No.
people who look like that always surprise you with being like 7'6" or something.
Yeah, he's probably 7'6".
I thought Todd Howard was significantly taller, but like it makes sense. Like the only context I ever see him is like standing on top of a stage. So like every camera angle is like looking up at him and he's alone. So there's no like point of reference.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
They zoom the camera in a little extra just for him.
Yeah. Gotta make him look big. So you buy his video game.
He looks like a normal adult human size up on that stage. Not at all what we're seeing.
Yeah.
Oh, and you know that picture, the other picture of him at the party where it looks like he's behind a whole bunch of people, so it looks like he's far away. I think he's closer than he looks.
There's a weird force perspective going on.
I really love Todd Howard optical illusion.
Howard's in the mirror maybe closer than they appear. Oh,
Howard is fucking collectible. That's Todd Howard costs $199 and you can pose him on your shelf.
Yeah, you get like a life-size Todd Howard doll with the next Bethesda game.
Yeah.
Fuck. All right.
Yeah.
Are we ready to move on from dunking on Todd Howard for something he can't control?
Not emotionally, but sure.
Yeah.
We may come back to this.
Next topic, Todd Howard, ugly.
we just ended calling it the R word. There we go. That's it. That's the end of it's a final episode of the podcast. It's just like 10 seconds of calling Todd Howard slurs.
Like,
knew it was
Tom,
gonna-
thank you for coming on to our slur special, our slur finale.
Everything we've said here is endorsed by our guest, of course. Of course.
Yeah.
Oh man. Yeah. So this will probably be out after the episode where I guested on
Oh, so yeah, that's
CRT
yeah.
sound
As of
systems.
recording, it's the next episode next week. So yeah.
And I think that this is a very similar energy to what I brought to that episode as well.
Yeah.
Excellent.
But anyway, let's move on to our next topic, which is Warner Brothers is now erasing games as it plans to list Adult Swim published titles. This is from Michael McWhirter on Polygon, and this is something that
Mm.
people that we know. I know you, Reese, have been specifically talking about how the Duck game is affected by this.
Duck game rules, and it's not, these are all older games, but it's, I don't know. It's a high, I would say, from the ones I've played, it seems like higher than average quality for something like this. I would imagine Adult Swim games to have a lot more dog shit, just like 17 Powerpuff Girls games that are unplayable. But it seems like it's overall quite good.
Right.
Mhm.
And this is following on the heels, I should say. Well, I don't know about the heels. It's quite significantly removed. But Warner Brothers is continuing like a streak of just absolutely dog shit behavior. This article mentions that the removal of those games echoes cuts from its film and television business. Warner Brothers Discovery infamously scrapped plans to release the nearly complete movies Batgirl and Coyote vs. Acme, and removed multiple series from its streaming services. If Warner Brothers goes through the plans with the delist Adult Swim's games from Steam and digital console stores, 18 or more games could be affected. So what is like Warner Brothers' strategy behind just destroying everything that they own?
Auto cannibalism to make the next quarter look good seems to be the name of the game, and David Zaslav, whatever his name is also like an actual crazy person. There's an anecdote that, because I heard it, is absolutely true.
Right.
Where he was watching something on Netflix, like one of his shows, and there was like a sex scene that came up, and he got like really flustered and upset and like turned off the show because it's just like it's too saucy for adults. And of course it was just like two straight people taking their shirts off, is as saucy as Netflix gets. So there's something about it. I'm sure he just had like a nightmare about Kingsway or something, and was just
Way to rule.
it has to take out Adult Swim games.
Man, they've really been fucking. Adult Swim in general has just been getting royally fucked over. Like, I remain upset about what happened to Ballmasters. I don't know. I think I made Reese watch that, but
Ballmasters was excellent.
Ballmasters is one of the best cartoons ever made, and it has like the dumbest name possible.
I've never heard of that one.
Yeah, it's part of the fun, because throughout the
Exactly.
entire series, they keep whispering
Master.
Yeah. And it's funnier every time.
Yeah. And so this is just another weird, evil, unnecessary thing that Warner Brothers seems to be doing, because like they own these games and it doesn't cost them anything, as far as I know, to keep them on the Steam store. Like, Valve is the one that has to worry about hosting and streaming these to people's PCs, right? I don't think Warner Brothers had to do anything other than like pay them $100 to get it listed on the store, and even then, I don't think they have to do that for Valve. Like, I'm sure they're a big enough publisher that they probably just get it on there automatically.
Yeah.
Yeah, I am curious
even,
how
like-
this saves them any money.
Yeah.
Because they won't even transfer them to the original right holders by the looks of it either, which is just
It's
they're
evil.
just like, no, you just got to re-upload it. So like they lose like all the ratings and everything like that. Actually keeps that stuff on the storefront on Steam.
What a ridiculous. I just don't. I cannot understand the actions, and so Reese saying that the person who apparently is in charge of Warner Brothers is just insane. That makes sense to me. This is as good an explanation as any.
Yeah, I mean, it's also too. It feels very much just like there's, I don't know, a real slaughtering of all the things that they own they don't understand. Like Rooster Teeth. Maybe we are mourning a little less here on the pod, but
Yeah, I don't care
also
about that at all.
was recently dismantled by Warner Brothers. Which is like I don't even like what I can't imagine why they would even ever look or think about Rooster Teeth. But
Yeah.
you know, it there has to be some element of just being like, we don't want to think about any of this unless it's Batman, unless it's our favorite transphobic parable, Harry Potter. We will not be engaging with any of this, and that feels like it's somewhat common, like EA just like acquiring things just to like delist them from Google. Like, what was the business purpose of that? There is done. You know, there's some weird C-suite logic that just ended with them just memory holding it. I am not. I'm mentally ill, but not that mentally ill to put myself in that mindset. But it's what they're doing.
Yeah.
Well, we'll keep you updated as Warner Brothers decides to destroy everything that they've ever made. They just go back into like the Bugs Bunny archives and burn the tapes or something.
Yeah,
I don't know.
yeah. David Zaslav saw the first episode of Ruby.
David Zaslav saw Bugs Bunny in a dress and got so horny he had to take an ice bath.
Listen, we've all been there.
I would just like to state for the record at this time that both I and my podcast support, endorse, and approve of piracy. If you want to get all that shit, so do it.
Oh yeah, yeah, 100%. Absolutely. Get 35 terabytes and just pirate every game on Steam right now.
Pretty much. It's the only way you're going to preserve them for like the long term, because it seems as though digital gaming has basically, we're now at the point that everyone who had misgivings about it was warning everyone, is like, oh, you don't actually own your games. They could delete it at any time. And now that's sort of coming true. Or that's not sort of, it is coming true. Many games are being removed permanently. You know, games you've bought no longer work, especially with Ubisoft. I know Dead Game News by Accursed Farms has been keeping up to date on this. These corporations just killing video games the second they just don't want to deal with them anymore.
Well, an insane number of these games, you're not actually buying them. You're buying like the license to be allowed to play them.
Right.
Yeah. And so you're not even stealing it in the way that they're framing it when you pirate the games, because it's just like you cannot own. There's no way to own the game yourself.
Right.
You are renting Assassin's Creed Odyssey. You'll never own it unless you pirate it. So
pretty much,
don't pirate that. Don't play Assassin's Creed.
Let's move on to our next story, which is why I wanted one of our fellow Earth Defense Force enjoyers on the pod, because this is like the worst shit I've ever fucking seen, and I got so fucking heated when I saw this.
So funny.
All right, so this is an article from GameSpot. I won't even say the author's name just because I don't want to inspire a harassment campaign against them, which this is my Gamergate too, and 2.5 I Dream of Electric Sheep or whatever. Helldivers like Earth Defense Force 6 delayed to summer of 2024. This is the most disrespectful thing I've ever fucking seen.
Yeah, it's not a Helldivers like, it's a Metroid Prime Federation Force like.
So true.
This is like if somebody went back and like called Doom a fucking Halo clone or something. Earth Defense Force has been around for a literal decade or more at this point.
Even longer. So like started on the PS2.
Yeah, it's been around since like the PlayStation 2. So at least probably like 2 decades, honestly.
Yeah.
And like here, this Johnny come lately comes and calls it a Helldivers like? What the fuck?
Okay, I mean, we don't have to start a harassment campaign, but could we personally go to their house? Maybe.
Just have a chat.
We just want to talk.
Just want to talk.
Why the fuck do they call it that? Like, I know that this is like the hot new thing that every gamer is going to be obsessed with for like the next 6 weeks until something new comes out. Because that's what always happens.
I don't think it looks very good. I'm going to say it. Helldivers doesn't look that good.
Yeah, I mean,
Helldivers 2 is pretty fun.
I think, Reese, you've been playing it, haven't you?
It's fun. I mean, I'm not going to defend any video game ever, but
I have nothing personal against
I have
Helldivers 2. I'm sure it's fun to play or whatever, but it's too much of a live service game. It kind of turns me off.
Yeah. And also, I don't really like Earth Defense Force, and that's a Helldivers like, as we know.
Oh my fucking god. Piece of shit.
I mean, can't argue with that logic.
But it's such a stupid thing to say, like, because, yeah, Helldivers is like what everyone's obsessed with now, but like we've seen this cycle so many times that like the biggest video game ever comes out, and like for a couple months it's all anyone ever talks about. Like, this is the exact same shit that was happening with like Baldur's Gate 3, where it's just like every single video game in existence was being compared to it. And now we're having to do this with Helldivers, which seems extremely disrespectful to me to refer to a series that's been going on since the PS2 as a Helldivers like. For the reasons I've laid out, but anyway.
It's not like Baldur's Gate, which is well established to be a Helldivers like.
Actually, okay, I think you'll find that Baldur's Gate 3 is an Earth Defense Force like.
Oh.
I'm getting confused now. I'm gonna get upset and angry.
I mean, I have been playing my favorite Elden Ring like recently, which is Dark Souls 2.
That's true. An Elden like is what the series is referred to as.
Yeah. GameSpot is just great. That's the thing.
It's a good website.
It's a great website. I endorse everything they've ever written, especially this.
My version of this was when Red Dead Redemption 2 was this game for all of the game journalism sites. And they came out with this article. There's just be like, the Coen Brothers Buster Scruggs channels Red Dead Redemption's 2 side missions. They're just like,
oh my god.
What? Because it's a Western?
I missed this completely at the time. What the fuck?
This is the stupidest fucking thing. And there was a lot of stupid Red Dead Redemption 2
there's a lot of stupid Red Dead Redemption 2 takes out there.
And so I can't get angry at this, Alton, because all of my rage was drained out of me for the rest of my life from this article.
That makes sense.
It's not, but it would be so funny if it was the same author of both.
well, we didn't say who it was, so it is the same author.
Could be.
You know what?
Anonymous.
Fuck it is.
Yeah. Why do game journalists do this? Why is it their only point of reference for anything is like whatever's the biggest thing at the time?
I mean, I think part of that is just the click desire.
Is that it? Is it just clickbait?
It really is. I mean, that's the sort of simplest explanation. That's your Occam's razor right there.
I think, that makes sense. I mean, I guess that if you wanted somebody to check out Earth Defense Force and you knew that like a bunch of people with like the worst media literacy in the entire world had just played Helldivers, you could be like, yeah, it's just like that.
Yeah. Because like when you log on to work and like, you know, your boss is bitching at you about KPIs or whatever, and you're like, you haven't had 5 million clicks this week, and Ross next door is doing 550 million. You gotta up that. You're just gonna start fucking going, all right, my favorite Helldivers like is Among Us and also Dark Souls.
Kirby Dreamland Adventure.
You're just gonna start doing shit like that, you know.
We're discussing it on the most influential gaming podcast in the industry. So
yeah,
they're doing something right.
Widely listened to.
It was very funny. A Vice writer who's pretty good, so I will not name her. But there was a kind of clueless tweet from her at one point where she was just like, "It's not clickbait. We're just trying to get paid, okay?" And we're just like,
yeah.
Okay, it sounds like it's half dozen of one, six of the other here. I understand that that writing is illegal in the 21st century, and so this is what you do. But
Thank you for letting me know about this article, though, Reese. This is fucking great. It's just like it's not even the same medium, which I think it makes it. You're right. This is like way worse. It just and like Earth Defense Force been around for like 20 years roughly, but like the Western has been around for fucking ages.
Yeah,
it's just like Red Dead Redemption 2 like Buster Scruggs. Fuck. Speaking of things we hate, we've got our next article is about EA, or I suppose our next tweets are about EA, really.
Mm-hmm.
So this comes to us from Renee Gittins at RikuCat, who's basically saying that their indie game that they worked on for 10 years immediately bumped off the new and trending by EA spamming 11 releases at once, which is really fucked. I mean, I guess someone was always going to get like screwed over by this, but
it is very funny that it's just EA spamming a bunch of old games as well. Like, it's not even new games. It's just like Dungeon Keeper.
Dungeon Keeper, Red Alert 2, Renegade Generals, Dungeon Keeper 2, Sin City 2000, or is that 3000? I can't actually see.
I think 3000, yeah. Look, based on the logo, I think, yeah.
Which, like, I get it. This is, it really fucking sucks to be a developer on Steam. Like,
yeah,
you have to like compete against like a million shovelware titles. To fucking to get anywhere, and just EA just deciding to take a massive dump on your release day has got to be like, it's got to be rough. And so
as I say, there's nobody really at fault as such, but like,
except for EA. We can blame EA. I don't give a shit.
Okay, let's just blame EA.
Why weren't these games already on Steam?
Yeah,
like they got like great job, lag asses.
Their own fucking version of Steam that they insist on everybody fucking using.
Oh, yeah, you're right. Exactly. It's all in fucking EA Origin.
Yeah.
Get it off of Steam then, so I don't have to look at it, you know?
Yeah, I think these are ones that probably don't use the launcher, thankfully, but still, it's like these are probably have been on like GOG for like the past like 8 years or something.
Oh yeah, almost certainly.
So it's just like why they just doing it for more money, but it is sort of darkly humorous to see the exact person that this fucked over. Because it's like the new and trending. There's like 6 games on top of like the EA shit, and then right underneath the EA shit is their game, Potions, A Curious Tale, which I assume is another potion simulator. There are many potion games coming out.
Such a weird,
Yeah, we should all be very worried about the cultural turn towards alchemy that we're seeing.
and witchcraft.
Yeah.
Which obviously letting women have magic power is such a bad idea.
Letting women have fun. Just period.
Yeah, that's our message.
Sorry, Reese, you're not allowed to have fun anymore.
I think that we don't need to say that because, like, in the United States and the UK, it's sort of banned for trans women to have fun anyway.
That's true. The police visit my house every time I laugh on the podcast.
I wish that was more of a joke than it was, but. Having a little literal police sent to your house for a 9/11 joke has got to be just
what a shitty country.
What a fucking dog shit awful country.
You can't even riff. Fuck off.
I know.
100%. I might have said this already on the pod, but the best part about that police visit was the way the police made sense for him. Is like, all right, so the way I understand it is you're twisted. You have twisted humor.
Yeah.
Are you legally Joker-fied? Is that what we're learning?
Yeah.
In the eyes of American law, yes.
The state of
That's
New York
phenomenal.
has like legally declared you a Joker.
Hmm. Well, what I like about the tweet from Renee Gittins is that she ends it with "Happy International Women's Day" hashtag.
Yeah.
And so I am going to take this as EA specifically targeting her with these releases only because she's a woman.
Absolutely. EA, what the
EA
fuck?
releasing games is gendered violence.
Yeah.
I agree.
We can definitively say.
Oh man. Well,
This is how Roe got overturned, man.
in other EA news, they're laying off around 670 employees, which would be more specific EA news, but now has sort of just been part of like every video game industry.
Just more video game trend
Yeah.
chasing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just
Fucking
and they
every
canceled like a
company.
ton of games. They canceled like the Apex developers like Star Wars like shooter they were developing. Which
Yeah.
is, half a commentary on Star Wars, but it's also Electronic Arts just being like, fuck it. Nothing but
Like,
the most predatory
it's-
shit imaginable.
Mhm.
surely Apex is still just printing fucking money for them.
Oh, yeah, certainly. Apex has
Like-
dodged the bullet so far. The second it dips under, 200,000% profit, they're going right in the oubliette. They're going to open up a pit beneath them, and there'll be a greased
fucking
chute
EA
right into
Hellmouth
the
opens.
game dev red slip dungeon
Mhm.
or pink slip.
Greased with what? Don't ask.
Yeah, I guess I probably should have put something in here in the list of articles, but recently just like every single video game company on Earth has decided that they are laying off just like 12% of their employees,
Yeah.
which my understanding is something to do with like there's like a massive this is basically about the end of like low interest loan repayments or something like that.
Mhm.
Yeah, I'd imagine so.
And then like the line of credit
The timing sounds about right, yeah.
the line of credit that was opened up for like financial relief for companies during the pandemic has sort of been closed off now.
Like all the games that were delayed by COVID are now out.
Yeah. And
So they
also
can just jettison the entire teams.
I believe I read an article from GameIndustry.biz that talked about this, that basically says that like the massive spike in interest in video games that was caused by the pandemic and everyone staying inside has basically gone
Cooled down.
away now that everyone can go
That people
outside
can-
again.
Touch grass.
Well, it can go outside and is forced to because you're no longer allowed to have work from home jobs, and
Yeah.
it is. We've had 3 years of utter hell where you have to go out to kill somebody for the moisture in their body to survive.
Well,
You just
that
don't have
makes
the
it sound
time to
like
dig the game.
that makes it sound a bit like Dune, so I'm not kind of into that actually, but
Okay.
it's more like just like people sneezing in the food meant for the elderly and giving them mega COVID,
Mm-hmm.
which I
Yeah, I've
think
been doing that.
but yeah, I mean, it's all the collective will of like the entire country at least has been to just pretend that COVID was solved,
Yeah.
which is fun.
And that this is EA's back to normal. It's just there's no pandemic. We have to get back to our regular quota of firing people.
Yeah.
That's right. Everyone's got to come into the office to get fired.
How else are they going to pack up their shit?
Yeah. Don't leave it here. Your pleb belongings. We don't want them. So, I'm so glad you mentioned Dune earlier because I saw the new Dune and I really want to drink the juice, the human juice that they extract.
They got like the special machine that sucks you dry and not in the fun way.
Yeah, they got the Jordan Peterson machine. And it comes out totally clear and it looks delicious and refreshing and I want to sip.
That would be like that makes me think I should post like a picture of like the Chinese milking farms that like this is what the Fremen are doing.
Oh shit!
Bremen
That would hit.
milking
You actually
farms.
should post that. That'd be good.
But we will save that conversation till we've all seen Dune 2. So pressure's on Reese. When you go and visit your girlfriend, you should see Dune 2. Doing it
Go see
again.
Very
Dune.
well.
I'm not
okay.
going to see it until it's out on digital because,
Mhm.
again, I have a child.
Yeah. Bring them to the move. Bring that small child to the movie theater where they will
Yeah,
We've
people fucking love when you do that. You should do that.
3 hours.
And there's nothing a 3-year-old loves more than sitting still for 3 hours. Like,
They won't
that's
be
just a
sitting
perfect
still. They'll be
3-year-old
watching
activity.
a sci-fi masterpiece.
My
Yeah.
fucking bladder felt like it was going to explode by the time that movie was done.
I
was like,
dehydrated myself in preparation.
shit.
I just got a still suit. Come on.
That's
That's true.
I'm pissing myself in the still suit I wore. The Dune 2. Ugh. Taking little sips. Taking little sips from my water bag, which is just the piss.
Got my piss bag. I've got my human juice bag.
Yeah.
It's more immersive to do that.
And
Exactly.
And the popcorn bucket that you can fuck.
Oh.
Oh yeah.
Oh, of course.
Triple
Yeah, I
threat.
mean I've been doing that
That's
ever
it.
since I saw it.
That's how you get the human juice.
Oh god.
Oh.
All right. Let's move on to our next topic, which is speaking of shitty industry trends. This is just something that really funny that happened in February. There's a new vitreous scourge mount in Diablo 4, and it can be had with the one easy payment of $65 fucking dollars, which is
You all
Oh,
ready for this?
Insane.
Video games are back, baby.
like
yeah.
the Todd Howard could never. He was like a coward who was like, well, we'll sell these horse armors for $3.
Only $2.
Yeah, how much was it? It was like
It's like
$2.50.
$2.99, I think.
Yeah, okay, $3. I was right. So back in the day, like there was a huge backlash to Bethesda releasing paid like DLC for Oblivion, that which is just horse armor, which to this day is still like a meme for old people who can remember the past. But the fact that that was like $3 and this is like 65 fucking bucks, it's like holy
listen,
shit.
inflation, the economy, it's in shambles.
Ugh.
How does Diablo 4 need you to have a fucking mount? Like, it's not an open world game, is it?
Really? I mean, it's an action RPG. I assume it just
It's a
makes you
dungeon
run
crawler
faster.
like the other ones, I presume.
Yeah.
What the fuck is the point of a
Why do you need a
mount?
fucking mount?
That's a great point.
Well, look. Yeah, I know this is kind of beside the point, but this is not $65 worth of pretty. In fact, this looks like shit.
Yeah. This isn't
and
anywhere
it
as
is
good as
very ugly, yeah.
the horse themed skin for the toilet you were showing us earlier. That wasn't
Oh
those
my
65
God,
fucking dollars.
Hey, listen, if you could do cosmetic microtransactions for your Diablo 4 toilet in game, this story would have a whole different tone.
Yeah.
About how we're all
Absolutely.
buying the game.
We're all buying the
All
game. I mean, if you're gonna do mounts, you should do fun ones like a toilet that moves around the ground at high speed.
Yeah, but
Oh,
also Winnie's like a horse.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, I don't know what to think about this. Like, this is the worst fucking DLC I think I've fucking seen in ages.
Yeah, mainly Blizzard fucking sucks, and just don't even play their games. You're not missing anything, I promise.
No. I mean, I haven't bought Diablo 4. It's like, why would I pay them? Like, even though there was like a brief period of time, and goes back to what we were talking about, where the zeitgeist for gaming is always changing, where people were saying, oh my God, Diablo 4 is so good. And like everyone was talking about it for like a week before then everyone started talking about how shit it was.
Yeah, it
Like,
makes
remember
sense
that?
week was
Really
not
as well,
maybe
if I recall.
maybe not genuine that first week, you know.
But like
Well,
people
it's
maybe
very
they
much
weren't
the-
genuinely enjoying it, but then they got like to the end game and fucking Blizzard apparently just ruins every dungeon with like these weird balance changes and nerfs and shit. I don't know.
Maybe I just
like-
think that every like video game online personality is fucking lying.
Yeah,
That's my
probably.
opinion.
Well, I think too is that the first week of your meth addiction is so much better than
Yeah.
than month 18 of your meth addiction.
Possibly.
Especially they had the launch, they had everybody was going through the quote story of the game, and so they're like, oh yeah, you had all of this interesting stuff to engage with. How Tyrael is gay coded now. Isn't that cool? And then that you get to the end game where you have to buy a $65 horse, otherwise
You need the horse.
your mother IRL will disown you.
If you do feel the desire to buy a $65 horse, maybe consider that Diablo 4 is a Helldivers like, and you should just play Helldivers 2.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You probably get a couple horses in that game.
It's actually an Oblivion like. An Elder Scrolls 4 Oblivion like. It even has 4 in the title. It's a complete ripoff.
Wow. Come on, Blizzard.
Stealing Todd's ideas. Come on. Be easy on him. He's just a little guy.
Yeah, doesn't he have it bad enough?
Yeah.
Instead of paying $65 for the Diablo 4 horse, subscribe to the $65 tier of the Vagatrato Patreon, and I will DM you the picture of the horse toilet I took today.
It's worth it. I assure you, it is worth
Pretty
it.
It
is more worth it than the crystal clad Diablo 4 horse. That's for sure.
100%.
Absolutely.
The Diablo 4 horse wishes it was a toilet in a spa. Like nothing can compare. All right. Our last
Learning a lot about you today.
All right. Our last story for today is that apparently Tencent is working on a mobile game adaptation of Elden Ring, which, according to Reuters from February 6th, Tencent working on mobile version of hit console game Elden Ring, which is weird because I played it on PC, by Josh Yee. China's Tencent holding has working to adapt acclaimed action role-playing game Elden Ring into a mobile version, 3 people familiar with the matter said, as it searches for a new hit to refresh its aging stock of games. The world's largest gaming company by revenue acquired the licensing rights for the game from Software in 2022 and set up a team of a few dozen people to work on a prototype. The same year, it bought a 16% stake in the Japanese game maker. People said progress has been slow. Why?
That's the punchline for me. Progress has been slow. I tried to monetize this deeply weird success story. It's not weird that it's successful, but it's a deeply weird game that was a huge success. So they're just like, how do we Genshin Impact-ize this?
Yeah, exactly. This is the next one I wanted to read.
Turn Bach into a sexy twink.
I need more Ranai skins.
While Elden Ring, why is it quote unquote Elden Ring, was designed as a premium game with a set price tag, Tencent wants to make it a free-to-play game with in-app purchases, similar to the hit game Genshin Impact, developed by its Chinese rival MiHoYo, the people said. The design of quote unquote Elden Ring, which focuses on a complete experience after a one-time purchase, is at odds with Tencent's planned model. Tencent and From Software did not respond to requests for comment. Sources declined to be named as they were not permitted to speak to media. Why is this happening? I guess maybe they threw a bone to Tencent because they bought like a 16% stake in From Software. They were like, okay, all right, if you give us all this money, we'll let you make a shitty mobile game based off of Elden Ring. And I cannot think of like a worse fucking game to make like a cheesy fucking Genshin Impact spin-off of. Like, how does that work? Like it's very much like the Game of Thrones thing where it's like the story is all about fucking murder and incest and fucking demigods just killing each other and just really awful, nasty things.
Yeah, there's a guy who eats your dung.
There's a guy who like rips your soul out through your ass and eats it.
Yeah.
And like, I'm trying to find him.
And I don't know. I mean, that's never stopped anyone before. That's like how they released all that like cutesy shit for like Game of Thrones as soon as that came out.
No, yeah.
Mhm.
I feel
Hmm.
I'm in danger because these mobile games are all just gambling.
Right.
And if Millennia tells me to gamble, I'm
Yeah.
gonna do it.
Yeah, like if there is an option for bunny girl Fia eat out, that's it.
I want a picture
I will
of
not be logging
Millennia.
back on because I cannot afford internet.
What I want to see is all the ads for it, and when it starts coming out, like "Come play, my lord,"
Oh,
Yeah.
God.
Lord. And all the ad reads
Yeah.
that the YouTubers are going to be doing for us. That's what I want to see.
Ye tarnished, 10 free pulls upon pre-order.
Oh my god.
You must unlock a great 5-star ruin.
Ugh.
This is something I made earlier for Push. I made this for my YouTube streams or my Twitch streams.
That's exactly what I was thinking of.
Exactly. Perfect.
Oh, that's great.
That's what the fucking the mobile Elden Ring is literally just going to be that. It's just like the sorceress Ronnie just asking for your fucking credit card information. Oh fuck. Why is the world, I mean, I know why the world's so shit. It's capitalism. But why does capitalism do this? Why does everything that we enjoy have to become a product that tries to steal our credit card information?
That's what it's all about, baby. You get
Ugh.
those
They
numbers.
just want direct
credit card
access to
numbers.
your, like, they probably, the way they'd prefer it is if you're like, your company, the company you work for just paid them directly.
I'm just
Just
thinking like
bypass you entirely.
what if I went, like, if you went back in time to tell me, like, when I was playing Diablo 1 on Battle.net, that there would, like, in the future, Diablo 4, there was like a horse armor you could pay $65 for, I would have called you gay.
Yeah.
And I would have been right to do it, although, you know, obviously not right to, you know, use it as a pejorative, but
Sentiment was correct.
sentiment,
Certainly.
yeah. My heart would have been in the right place.
Absolutely.
Oh man, just imagining, you know, how far Diablo has fallen since when I used to like love it back in the day. I think that would have really depressed me to know that I was like in for a world of just like the shittiest games ever made.
Yeah.
Ugh. Between this, like Diablo 3, Diablo 4, and Hellgate London, it's like everyone like officially involved with like I don't know. Like to me, Hellgate London was another one of those cases where I got too hyped up for it to the point where it was just like dog shit when it came out.
Were you one of the people that bought the lifetime subscription?
No, I didn't have a computer that could run it, so all I could do was just like drool over the idea of like looter shooter Diablo, which is like a fucking incredible
It was a cool idea.
Yeah, it's still a great
Absolutely.
idea. But like it's bad. It's not a good game. It's so bad.
It's really shitty.
I played it like much later when it became like free to play. And I was like, why was it always like this? This is so bad. This is like sub MMO tier combat. But yeah.
I'm really excited for the Elden Ring Christmas event where, you know, small Ronnie the doll is in a snow globe.
Oh God.
You know, Gideon the all-knowing in an ugly Christmas sweater.
Oh, he's in like Santa outfit.
Yeah. I think this is really going to be. I do hope it comes out, and I do hope it breaks me psychologically.
100%. Well, if that's all we've got to say on mobile Elden Ring, which is going to be, we're going to become deeply upset when this releases, I'm sure.
There's a decent chance it never comes out.
Yeah,
I
there's
feel
also
like this is the sort of thing where, like, if they're not allowed to fire you at at 10 cent or whatever, and they have to put you on the most dead-end team imaginable. You get put on the Elden Ring mobile team. And it's basically like, the
It's a
first season of
punishment.
The Wire. It's just be like, all of these game dead humps are just jacking off in their offices. They're not working on the game.
Mm.
Yeah, I reckon From Software just sort of like, oh, you're going to give us money for this? Yeah, fuck it. You're not going to do shit with this. So
Yeah.
give us the money.
It reminds me a lot of that story of like the Final Fantasy arena game, like the one that was supposed to be like Apex Legends, but for Final Fantasy. Do you remember that?
For
Like,
Final Fantasy VII specifically.
yeah, the Fortnite
Wow.
clone.
Yeah.
Oh, the First Soldier.
I never fucking
that the one?
heard anything about it after we like read the story announcing it. You remember that?
Yeah, I did hear about it
And then it's
closing.
been
Yeah.
killed, yeah.
Uh-huh.
I feel
Yeah.
like this is a situation we're gonna get in with mobile Elden Ring. But anyway, I want to wrap things up. We're at an hour already, so for Push, go ahead and tell us where we can find you online.
Easiest thing is just to go to Linktree and go to CRT Sound System. There, I have all my links on that. And yeah, you can just listen to my podcast that I have with Reese, which is about video game music, and it's really fun. Alton will be on it very soon.
Yeah.
Yeah, we need to get a full Vigatuto crew episode.
Yeah, I want to figure out
for
what
all
that
of us to
episode's
get
gonna be.
especially mentally ill about something.
Oh God. All right,
Ooh.
Kay, where can people find you online?
I've also got a link tree. It's probably linked somewhere on the thing that you're looking at. Go click on it. You can click on it, and there'll be all sorts of links. There'll be YouTube, eBay, eBombs World.
Oh,
All
hell
of
yeah.
them.
You can find me
Make sure
on
you
Battle.net
dig it.
in 2008 as a mentally ill 12-year-old or something.
Be sure to add my ICQ.
All right, Reese, where can people find you online?
You can find me. I have a link tree as well under Reese Ryder. Find my various social medias, all my thousands of podcasts. Yeah, and you can also find me on the Ruby fan forum, going down with the ship, fighting which is better, the bad 3D version of the show or the anime they made of the bad 3D show, for some reason on Crunchyroll.
Yeah, I would say Ruby's probably my favorite Dragon Ball Z like, actually. And you can find me. There's just going to be a link down at the bottom for my link tree. Just like Linktree/ Rude Fox Alton, pretty much on everything. I would say Twitch, because I kind of want to get back into streaming, and then also Twitter and Blue Sky, so follow me on there. And yeah, you can find our podcast at twitter.com or x.com, I guess, /Vigatuto. And you can find us pretty much everywhere at Vigatuto. Our website is videogamesarethe.worst.pinecast.co. And you can check out our Patreon at patreon.com/Vigatuto, where $1 a month gets you access to all our premium stuff, including the episode that I've just been like sitting on for several months because I'm too tired to edit it. But that will be coming out soon with
Well, yeah. Well,
Fox.
you've been playing Elden Ring to prepare for the mobile game.
Oh, yeah, exactly.
Obviously.
What you should do is tweet at the Twitter and tell us how tall you think Todd Howard is.
Oh, absolutely. Tell us how big you think Todd is. We need to know.
Yeah.
Canonically. Well, I think that's it for this episode. So thanks everyone for listening, and we'll see you on the next episode. Bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye.